Um, this training is all about creating a program. And the way I teach it, I don't know if you guys saw the I help statement training that we did last Thursday. But when you think of your program, either it's your niche and this is the population you're serving all of the time, which as we teach it is really a good idea. You have a specific population that you serve, and that's a lot easier to market and all of those good things. If you do have a local program that serves a lot of different populations, then you can think of your I help statement in this program planner to be just for this program and these clients that, you know, have the specific needs that this program is going to serve. So the I help statement can be a statement to a niche for a whole program and your whole equine assisted learning or coaching or psychotherapy business. Or it could be a smaller promise to a smaller demographic that is served by this program. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
All right, good deal, good deal. I know that you are a are you a VA, an assistant, Alexis?
We work with, well, no, I'm Alexis's assistant, and we have equine assisted programs, and we work with veterans and church groups, at-risk youth, etc., with the horses.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to have you pick one of those, and we'll kind of start a little program for that demographic. Since you're here, I'd like to make it as impactful for you as possible. So we can either do one of two things. You have a few different niches. We can serve one of them with this program plan, or we can look at your demographics and see if there is a need that all of them have in common. So let's take a second and let's look at you said you are serving veterans.
Yes. At-risk youth.
At-risk youth. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of different church groups.
Okay.
And so then we tailor it to depending on what the church group. Sometimes it's the youth group, sometimes it's more their troubled teens, like the at-risk youth. We've also done programs for trafficked women, trafficked young girls, which a lot of the churches are getting more into assisting those young ladies.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then we also have a seniors day once a month. A lot of disabled elderly folks come out with their walkers and their wheelchairs and their
canes. That's awesome.
And you know, they revert back to 10-year-old gals and chaps with their smiles and giggling and telling stories about life growing up on the farm way back when, and etc., etc. So that's more of you know, obviously we're concerned about safety for everyone, horses as well as people, and vice versa. I should say people first, horses second, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh, definitely. Now. I definitely understand. Definitely safety is important. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, so I was just saying there that, you know, we don't really have a program per se. It's more like a visiting hour, and we pair horses up with people that aren't concerned with wheelchairs and those kinds of apparatus things. And we give, send them with the minis and the ducks and the chickens and the turkeys and the rescued kitties, the feral cats who now actually want to become house cats. All the
That's the
animals want to
way.
come inside. And we get lots of wildlife. So it's like a day in the country for them. And they're just absolutely, it keeps them going for for an entire month of joy.
Oh, that's so nice. Where are you located?
We're out in Colorado.
Oh, nice. Colorado. Okay. All
Not
right.
nice at the moment with the hailstorms and the
Oh, I
tornadoes
bet.
and everything else. But
Oh, hopefully
yes,
that is just going to be over soon. My goodness, it's
we,
been,
we are we are hoping that as well.
yeah, the weather has been crazy. So your senior day is kind of a that's a service that you're providing. That's kind of a gift to your community and kind of a population that you have a heart for and just enjoy supporting, right?
Yes, well, all of the programs,
Oh
and
yeah.
we give scholarships for everyone. This isn't so everyone gets scholarships, including the veterans.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So when we look at all of these programs, veterans, at-risk youth, these church groups with varying needs, human trafficking survivors, and your seniors, can you think of any specific goals that they might have that we can help them achieve that are not just unique to the veterans group or the at-risk youth, but that they all have in common? What's something that they all have that is a challenge for them?
I think all of them that come have the challenge. They've all had injuries, trauma, heartache, loss, grief. So for us, it's really about helping them open their hearts again.
Ah,
And we
good.
found one of the best ways, and I'm sure you're in agreement with it, that animals facilitate that best for people. It it
Hmm.
it kind of bridges the gap as opposed to saying to someone, "So, how are you feeling today, my dear? And what's troubling you?" It's much more effective to let them be with animals and they just sort of work things out. And of course, you ask the appropriate questions and the tears come or whatever the emotion may be. But it seems to be facilitated a lot faster that way.
Oh
Mm.
yeah. Yeah. So you're really giving them an opportunity to experientially learn with the horses and just gain the healing that really only they can give. Is this mainly an equine assisted psychotherapy program that you run there in Colorado?
Um, I I guess yes, that would be the term. Although we used to be very specific with that, and now as I said, we've branched out to some of the church groups and um, reaching out that way
That
as
way
opposed.
too.
Yes.
Do you always have a therapist on staff at these sessions?
No, not always, which is why I said we've sort of, we're becoming
Right, right.
we're becoming a hybrid.
I think that is kind of what many of the programs have found. We have to work at being able to be marketable to everyone. And just like anything else, if you don't have the staff or the team, if you're working in a team model and you can't find a therapist to work with the ES, uh, luckily there are creative ways that we can change that. But what I would suggest is if you don't have a um, therapist, and if it's life coaching or a learning program, equine assisted learning, let's take the trauma and the injury off, because these goals are things that we want to be able to put into our programs. So let's go with open their hearts again. And can you think of anything else, or would you like to serve in this program plan one of the specific niches more than another? Or would you like to stay with something that you could use with all of them?
Well, I think, and so to backtrack a little bit, and I don't want to take up too much time. Other participants want to carry on and interface with you. I don't want to. I mean, this is our first time joining you, so I
It's
don't want to
okay.
take
No,
on.
we're happy to
Okay.
help.
Okay.
If you'd rather or be more comfortable if I just kind of talked and we didn't coach you through this
Oh,
process, I
no,
could do that too.
no. We're very happy to receive your coaching. Very happy.
Okay, all right.
I just didn't want to monopolize the
Oh,
conversation.
no, you're not at all. You're not
Okay,
at all.
very good. So
Yes.
what I was going to say was, so we moved out here from California, and in California we had a couple of different therapists that rotated that we loved working with, and Alexis does all the training and does the horse handling, and she actually is probably, although she's not a licensed therapist, she's probably one of the best therapists I've ever seen, better than a lot of the ones that we've experienced out here. So, which is why, because with the EGALA model and certain models, you have to have
A
the therapist,
therapist.
the
Yes.
licensed being the operative word,
Right.
on site. So since we have not found the right fit, we've found many of the wrong fits, if you get my drift.
I do.
But that we've decided weren't the right fit. So it's like, thank you for your license, but we just don't think this is going to be a good marriage here. So, and we see it as a commitment and a marriage. So, you just, it has to flow together, because if the team's not right, then the participants are not going to receive the benefit to the maximum degree.
That's so true. That's so true. So if you wanted to be versatile, actually, you don't have a choice right now because you haven't found the right fit. And you still want to keep your doors open and you still want to serve, we
Yes.
can help your populations in a forward focused and solution oriented program. So let's work on creating that here. Let's talk about opening their hearts again. That statement you made. What is it that happens when our hearts open again? Can you think of anything? Like, what
Sure.
happens to a person?
I believe we experience joy. Oftentimes there is the relief of sadness and grief and emotions that's
good.
stored for a long time. So many people have deferred hope and have lost their dreams and have lost their connection with the divine, for example, God, higher power, whichever, however we try to be non-denominational.
Mhm.
But I think that's one of the biggest things. And so for us, for all of us at the Equine Sanctuary, we see that animals restore that connection to the divine. And that is joyful unto itself, is it not?
Oh, it sure is. It sure is. Oh, we have someone. Oh, Sarah's coming in. Wonderful. Yes, I love that. I love that. Did I spell divine right?
D
I.
Divine.
Yep. Thank you.
Sure.
Good grief. There we go. This is excellent. All right, then we're going to move that up here. I don't know why this is there. Ah, I see. Okay. Connect to the divine. So these are so far things that we can do, honestly, if we have the right tools without a therapist. And that I think should be our goal right now because Wisdom Ranch is all about coaching and learning. Dog, you have to go lay down. Sorry. My dog is
No,
like, you must hold me right now.
no worries. We love
Yeah.
all the critters.
Yes, we do. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, can you
Hi.
hear
Oh, sure can. Sure
me?
can.
Okay,
Happy to have you here. So
good.
we are playing a little bit with this program idea, and
Okay.
we have now Alexis. Is your name Alexis, or is the
So,
gal that you are an assistant to is Alexis?
yes, the latter. Yes, my name's
Okay,
Ashley, and people get this
Ashley.
confused all the time. Ashley and Alexis, and
It's nice to meet you. So they are in Colorado, and they serve veterans, at risk youth, church groups, human trafficking survivors, and they serve seniors once a month too. And just like many other programs, they have had issues with finding licensed therapists that are a good fit for their program. And as we do here at Wisdom Ranch, we are creating a more of an equine assisted life coaching or learning program. And right now we're just kind of trying to come up with some goals. What else
Okay.
might happen when we open our hearts? We experience joy, relief from pain, connection to the divine. What else can you think of?
we have reports that people sleep better
Ooh,
after
sleep better. Yes.
after their interaction out here in the country with the wildlife and all the animals, and just leaving it all behind. And we actually say that to them. It's like, okay, when you go to drive in, there's a post and a box up at the top of the drive. So we'd like you to pause for a minute, obviously get out of the street so you don't risk getting hit by an oncoming car, but just pause for a minute and think about all the baggage that you're carrying, and just like sort of visualize putting it in the box. It'll be there on your way out if you choose to pick it up, or you can choose to just leave it and we'll recycle it for you.
I love that. I
That's
love
cool.
that. Do you
Yes.
have an actual box there that
We
that
do.
Oh,
We
I
do.
love that.
We do. And it is
how cool.
empty in the physical, but but people like that exercise. Actually, it seems to work. And
Yes.
they'll be very, very darling. They'll call back a day or two later and they'll go, I left what I was carrying so heavy in my heart. I left it in that box up there. And it's like, okay, good. We've taken care of it. No worries. No worries.
It's gone now. No worries
right.
at all.
That's
I
right.
love that box. I think we
So-
need that box. Sarah, we need to make that box at Snowy Mountain, minis too.
Same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
That's so great. So I
So-
put here moving forward in our lives, leaving
Yes.
it behind as moving forward. Can you think of anything else, guys, that happens when we open our hearts?
Well, I think we're also more available to connection, because when
Ooh.
we're wounded, we retreat. We retreat
Yes.
we might find solace in our own personal animals, but I think we retreat from calling friends. There's more isolation. With the isolation comes the depression, and it becomes sort of a vicious cycle. And the more we
yes.
how does Alexis put it? She puts it that the lies we hear in our head are much louder than the truth that's in our heart.
Ooh, yes, yes. So that to me screams living in the moment. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that that's one of the things that animals, particularly large horses, you must be in the present moment and forget all your baggage, so you can, one, be safe, and two, really take it all in. I mean, especially people who haven't grown up around them, they sometimes tend to be a little intimidated, a little
for
bit
sure.
certainly in awe of their majestic qualities and their beauty. and how large but gentle they can be, or large and flighty they can be, depending on the situation. So, and some of them have never fed a carrot or a peppermint or anything like that, and to just have that experience, and also in the process learn a little bit about boundaries, leadership, how to state what they'd like, how to say no, you're we call it mugging, when the horses get a little too enthusiastic about the carrots. It's like, no, we don't let them to mug us. No, they must have manners. They're very large. They must have manners. So a lot of people, shockingly to us, seem to really feel empowered by learning a little bit of boundaries, and then they can translate that also into their personal life with the humans in their life that maybe they are boundary-less with.
I love that. So do you see what I've been doing as you've been talking?
I do. You're so kind. You've been writing what I've been speaking.
Yes,
I'm
I've been creating more goals for our program here. So what I think is really important for programs to do now, because, in order to be versatile, and especially my goal has always been to help those horse programs, right? And the equine specialists that maybe can't find the therapist partner. And to do that, we have to be a little creative in how we put these programs together, because we don't want to be practicing mental health without a license, right? We want to be respectful of the mental health professional, and we want to serve our clients to the best of our abilities. So the program that we're going to create here is forward focused and solution oriented. And that's important because we want to create a program that we can run without a therapist if need be. And honestly, if you are a business that is not, and you're not a therapist yourself, I think it is a really good idea to create a business that is really more of a learning and life coaching business. And you have a second tier when you have the gift of a therapist that fits well with your program, that is equine-assisted psychotherapy. And it sounds like you're EGALA certified, so you have all the tools to run that. You just need the tools to be able to run something without a therapist. And that's what we're putting together here.
Right. Yes.
So looking at this, I would say that all of these niches, if you will, that we have written here, these populations that you serve, could stand to increase the joy in their lives, probably need some relief from pain. Many of them would welcome a bigger, greater connection to the divine. I'm sure all of them could sleep better. They could leave it behind. They could move forward. They could connect. They could live in the moment. They could gain more confidence and welcome new experiences, learn about boundaries and practice putting them, into place to serve them. And they all could be empowered to get what they want in their lives, to meet their goals. Wouldn't you say?
I would say, and I think all of that translates to more peace besides joy. It's like
peace.
more.
Do you know what we
peace
have done? We have found the first part or piece of our I help statement. So how can we create an I help statement that encompasses all of these goals, but doesn't speak to populations that are too far from coaching ready? And what I mean by that is a veteran that just came home and is not really acclimated yet, is really not coaching ready, right? At-risk youth that are still incarcerated or, incarcerated or really still taking risky behaviors. Maybe there's crime, maybe there's an underlying mental health issue, maybe there's addiction. With any of these populations, if we are suffering so much that we can't look forward, we can't be solution oriented, and we can't be forward focused, they really have no place in a learning or coaching program. That is an equine-assisted psychotherapy program. Would you agree with me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Good answer. Because that's, I would have to say that, well, A, we don't want to put our business at risk, right? And B,
Oh, correct.
it's great to have more than one income stream into the business. So imagine, if you will, that you have an EAP program and you have a coaching program. And that, when you have someone that has really gone through the EAP program and they are ready to be forward focused and solution oriented, they could step into this program. So something to think about to diversify your offerings. So I agree with you very much that, this just all screams peace. When you are confident, you have more peace and you are better acclimated to any situation that comes to you. You're able to move about in the world with confidence and make decisions and critically think. I help, and then we have peace. We haven't figured out a statement here, but what we want to do is we want a statement, because this really becomes our promise to our community. So in your marketing material, you can use this, and it should really, really speak to the people that, want to hire you. So if we want peace, the first question comes to me as a course creator and as a coach is, I see divine here. I see peace. Is this a program that your business would want to be faith-based?
Well, we are very faith-based.
You
We
are?
don't,
Okay.
it's not, again, we say we're non-denominational. We don't, if someone is a Christian, if someone is a Buddhist, it doesn't matter what they are. They can be agnostic, usually they don't leave agnostic, but, the new age person who just wants to reach out to the powers that be and the divine. We don't push an agenda in terms of that.
Right.
You don't
So
have to.
it
You don't
would
have to go
be,
to church.
would you call that spirituality?
Yes, the people that are more onto the new age spiritual.
New age. Okay.
Although, like I said, we personally are very faith-based.
Okay.
But Jesus said, go out and be an example in the world and serve and teach unconditional love and joy and peace and forgiveness and all of that. So therefore, that means to everyone, not just to other like-minded souls.
Oh, I love that. I love the way you put that. So while you are, or the folks that are running the program may be Christian, it isn't that you are, your program's not faith-based. Is that something you'd like to explore with this little example? Because we could make this about some sort of spirituality program that we could craft to support these groups, or we could go in a total different direction. I'm really just asking you what you think best meets the need of the organization you serve and the mission and the mission?
Well, I think we're open to either. We're at an interesting crossroad in the sense of we had some astronomical veterinarian bills that have blown our budget for the next 3 years. And it's been it's been over the course of a couple of years, it's 18 months now in which this has been going on. And then with the hailstorms, the arena's damaged, the barns are damaged, there's so much repair that needs to be done. And we've
I think you're singing Sarah's song and some of that, because she's got some crazy weather over there too. Yeah.
Where's Sarah located?
Central Montana.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're getting some of the same weathers we're getting.
Yes.
And tornadoes, hail the size of softballs, and yes. So
where are you?
So
we're in Colorado.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Yeah, between Denver and Colorado Springs.
Okay.
And so we've always given scholarships to everyone, but we're now sitting here going,
we need to make some money.
We have for 23 years donated scholarships to everyone. And now we have a 6-figure debt with one of the equine hospitals here. And we really, and fundraising is not our strength. We all basically contribute, and Alexis owns an organic supplement company, and she was one of the first people to formulate and manufacture organic whole food supplements for people, dogs, cats, horses. And that pretty much funds the program, because none of us are good grant writers. None of us are good.
Oh, I hear you.
Good fundraisers and all of that.
And I think that happens with all of us. We have a heart for helping. We have specific gifts. And then we have some areas that, maybe we, some muscles that have not been developed yet, let's just say, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if we look at this, let's just riff a little and see. We want to make some money. We want to stay within the mission. Do you happen to know what the mission is of your business?
Well, what we do technically is I'll actually read it to you because
Okay, perfect. Yes, please.
The Equine Sanctuary rescues racehorses, let me try this again. Sport, polo, and racehorses rescued, rehabilitated, and retrained for educational and therapeutic experiences with children and U.S. soldiers.
Oh, nice. Okay, with children and U.S. soldiers. With children and U.S. soldiers. Okay. So nowhere in there does it talk about the spirituality. Not that that's not important. But it says specifically children and U.S. soldiers.
Right. And that's not the only demographic, as you can see, that we serve, but that is the mission statement that goes, with the 501c3, whenever we do all the paperwork for all the things, for all the filings, that's what goes on it. And that's what it says on the website, safe home forever. This is what we do.
Stop. My dog. Sorry, I'm not talking to you.
It's okay.
Oh, I think I just pulled out my. Hang on. All right. Can you hear me okay again?
I can.
Okay. I pulled out my headphones. I think actually you might have heard me throughout that whole thing, but my dogs are just being riotous. They're rolling around and wrestling because I'm on the phone.
They want your attention.
Yeah, right, exactly. So if we think about the U.S. soldiers and the kids, I would say we have the bones for a great program. And the way we do this is we look at all of these goals And we can, and we could do this next week even. We can look at making them weeks of the program that, you would like to build. Sarah just hired me to help her write a program. We've just finished actually. And this is what we did to build her program. And it works really, really well. So you can look at, I usually tell people, let's find 10 or so goals that we have or challenges that our clients have, and let's go from there. The problem I'm having right now is coaching and learning programs without a therapist. I'm not sure I want to put soldiers in here. Not that they don't deserve it, but or that they can't use the services that you're providing, but that
Yes.
almost seems to point to an equine-assisted psychotherapy program. Wouldn't you agree?
Probably. And
Yeah.
and like I said, we haven't found the right fit, and all the therapists that we have worked with out here, they all charge quite a bit of money. They don't care that we're giving the scholarship. They want their, and we totally respect that. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're just at a place now where we have to change the model of how we've been doing things.
How you've been doing things. Right.
And
and we can totally kind of play with that right now. So the veterans, the youth, those that have had trauma, if you think of them from like a year or so out from the trauma, okay, let's look at aiming our services to those folks right now. You can streamline your offerings so you're not paying a therapist, which I think at this point in time is important for you.
Especially with where things are with the budget
right now. Right, with the budget. So if we look at serving our population a little differently in tiers, maybe you even put a hold on the equine-assisted psychotherapy tier until you are better able to afford paying a therapist. Maybe right now you kind of work those life coaching muscles and those equine-assisted learning muscles. And we can do that by looking at these populations. So instead of having soldiers here, I put adults that are blank. Now we have to figure out what it is we want to promise them. And it has to be a promise that is going to like get their attention. It's going to make them go, oh, that sounds really interesting. What, that sounds like something I really could use. Tell me more. Any ideas?
Well, here's something that we've, and in the process, working with the supplement company, I also work with the supplement company, and everyone seems to be having just such a challenging time. There seems to be just such an overflowing of grief everywhere. People themselves, their animals, or their family members, or close friends having dreadful health issues, loss, challenges. I mean, it's like no one is calling with good news, a good report. Everyone is having struggling with their day-to-day life. It has gotten, there's seasons to everything. We all have seasons,
yes.
Valleys and mountains, and it just seems like everyone is having a valley experience. And somehow to provide, and I'm just sort of speaking stream of consciousness here.
That helps me. Thank you.
It's like they need a relief from their day to day so that they can return back home with gratitude to their home, to their loved ones, because they got out and had a little bit of a break and had some joy, and they laughed, because who could not be around animals and not laugh? I mean, I certainly can't. They always do something that makes you laugh.
They do.
And it's like and this is me speaking, this is not Alexis speaking, but this is some of my thoughts about it. Because this wasn't pre-planned. I was just checking our email and I saw something
and you
from
saw it
you.
and you're like, I didn't
And I
know
was
that
just
she
like,
was gonna put me on the
"Oh,
spot and make me
I'm gonna check this out for 5 minutes.
working with people more than I like just, waxing poetic and teaching. So I'm glad you're not put off by all of
Oh,
the,
no. No. I believe
coaching.
that the good Lord divines everything and plans things. And, sometimes if we knew in advance some certain things, we know, oh, I don't have time for that, but I have time for 5 minutes. But
Yeah, right.
here I am. So, so I think people just need a little break from
Yep.
their day to day, because everyone's it just, and maybe this is not true in your life or in Sarah's life.
Oh, it's true. It's
it-
true.
It's like everyone has just experienced so much loss and grief and sadness and hardship.
It's
And
so true. We found that in our community as well.
and 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 then with all of the damage and the weather and Mother Nature, and even simple things like people are calling and going, oh, I'm in tears, the hail destroyed my gardens, I'd worked so
Right.
hard.
So it's
something as
it's even
simple as
relief
that.
from the weather, and from
Yes.
just everything. Especially
Yes.
if we're living on a farm and taking care of livestock and worried about
Yes.
hay.
Yes.
Which
Yes, all of that.
we've
All of
been
that.
in a drought. We've had a little bit of storm today, and they're all very much worried about hay this year in Michigan. And then
Okay.
yeah. So I love this, where this is going. And what do you think of this I help statement? It probably needs to be, this is just the first kind of play with this, but we serve children and adults that are recovering from challenging times. What's a better way or a more true to your brand way of saying that? I want to stay away from sadness and hardship because, again, we want to stay away from equine assisted psychotherapy. But we want to encompass all of this in a forward focused, solution oriented program. Any ideas, Ashley? Or do you like this? Challenging times, recovering from. Or even we can talk about what the benefit is, make it a positive.
Because a lot of people are in it, so they don't think they're recovering from it.
Right. Good point. So let's say we serve children and adults that are seeking, I don't know, what are they seeking?
Relief, a break, and that's too simplified.
Yeah.
Yep. Sarah, by all means.
Yes, chime in, Sarah. She might have stepped away for a second. How about that are seeking a this is going to take time to come up with something amazing.
Sure. Yes.
But you get the gist of this. And now what we've done is we have added the bones of a new tier to your practice, a practice that was heavily EAP, but we need to pay some bills here. And we need to cut some of the fat. Not that the mental health professionals are fat now. We're not saying that, but if you can create, I'm just teasing now. If you can create a program and not, not be bleeding money everywhere, you can meet some of the obligations you have. I think you would all feel so much better, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Because, the Alexis's passion is to save these racehorses that are
Oh,
disposable
nice.
pieces of equipment. And I don't know if you've seen it yet, but you know, with all the horse deaths that are now becoming quite publicized this year, with all the deaths at Santa Anita, deaths the day of the Triple Crown races, etc. Well, Alexis is, besides the training and all of that, they've added some new it's like a cell phone unit that goes under the saddle pad, and it creates like a radio station on the horse's body. And it goes, because the aluminum plate shoes that they race in, so the frequency goes back and forth. And so it literally, like EMFs, you know, the electromagnetic frequencies are damaging to our human bodies. They're just as damaging to
The
animals.
horses.
Animals feel the frequencies, dogs and cats too, of thunderstorms, the barometric pressure, and definitely EMF. So she basically, and you'll start to see this come out, but she has been involved in speaking to the Racing Commission, and she has gotten some people's articles in the forefront that, you know, that she has been speaking to scientists that were talking about this. So her passion is to save more horses. That's her thing.
Racehorses. I love that. And
More
what a
racehorses.
yeah, that's needed.
They go to slaughter for human consumption.
Oh, I
you
know. I know.
You know.
We have a
So,
great rescue here for racehorses too in Michigan called Beyond the Roses. And
yes,
yeah.
I know of them. Yes.
Oh, are you aware of them?
Yes.
Wonderful. I
Yeah.
love that. I
There's
love what you guys do. So
quite a few out there.
yeah. Oh, there are. So what do you think? I just, it's funny. One of the first thing you said is open their hearts again. And so I tried that. We serve children and adults that are seeking to open their hearts to joy again.
Yes, that's good. That's
It
better.
still needs some tweaking, I think. It still needs some tightening up, but we have kind of started to get the bones together of an equine-assisted coaching program. And with that, you can do so many things. You could take this, you could put it online. It can be either a course that is available all the time that people can just go through, and then they can come to your facility for horse time, you know, like even in a retreat that is, you know, they can come for a retreat from all over the world, really, you know, and then that is even a third tier to your program potentially. Not only are you just serving your local community, and of course, locally, you are kind of stuck with the demographic you have locally, right? I mean, not stuck, but your income is kind of foretold by the resources your community has. And a lot of the horse programs that I work with are very rural. So that's something to think about. So today's goal, I think we have met it very well, is to come up with goals for our clients, for men, women, and children that, you know, we want to create these experiences for, and we need to kind of firm up our I help statement and how we are going to help this community. But this was really fun. What do you think, guys? What do you have any questions or any ideas moving forward with this? We will do something again. I haven't even figured out a topic. We could work further on this if you wanted to and just play with it a little more, or we could do something totally different. Any thoughts?
So, oh, I'm sorry, Sarah, you speak. We've been speaking. Now you go, you now go.
Just wondering what the options were like if we didn't do this, what else would we work on?
Oh, it doesn't matter. We can work on anything. Thursday is all about program planning. So we can work on assessing programs. We can work on writing, you know, different activities, whatever you guys would like to. If you have any suggestions, otherwise I'll keep kind of licking and chewing on it over the week and come up with something. Do you have any ideas?
Well, I have a question.
Oh, sure, please.
Sarah, you two just worked on a program for your
Yes.
organization, right?
Yes.
Okay, so and is it a program where you're charging the public for their sessions?
Yes.
And so how did you arrive? Because you kind of came in a little after. So we've done scholarships completely up until now. And now we're looking at, we're kind of being forced to revisit and redesign. So
Mhm.
what do you charge and how did you come up with that? And how did you,
You know what?
how
That is a
is
great
that working?
question. We just did a training on that. It's on our YouTube channel. Have you been able to see it yet?
I have not.
Okay, yeah. Check that out. And it will talk about ways of pricing. On Tuesdays, we talk about business tips. And we'll talk more about pricing, I'm sure, next Tuesday, because it is really one of the first questions people ask me. But let's do that Tuesday and we'll dive into that. I can tell you that the out there, and you've probably heard this too, with your EGALA work, generally, you know, where especially EAP seems to stick with pricing similarly to a mental health facility, which does not pay for what we're doing. It does not pay for our horses or all of the work and, you know, the equine specialist and all of the things. There's definitely a better model. So check out that training and let's talk about it more on Tuesday. How's that sound, guys?
That sounds good.
All right.
Where do I go, my dear,
Where
to
do you
find
go? This at our YouTube channel. Let's see here. I will put it on this piece of paper because I think I have it open. Do. Yes, I do, thankfully. Give me 1 second. All right.
What is the name of your business?
It's called the Equine Sanctuary. You can look it
Okay.
up at the equinesanctuary.org.
That's
Okay.
nice.
Are you on Facebook?
We have a page, but we don't.
Okay.
We don't.
You
I
don't
know,
really have
I know we need to, but we don't.
Okay.
that's okay. That can come, you know, later. This is our
Social
YouTube
media
link.
has not been our forte, you know.
I get you. I get you. It is
Okay.
always a lot. You can also just go to YouTube and put in Wisdom Ranch or Wise Life Coach Academy, and you'll find us. But I have the link right there if you want to grab it. You all see it?
No. Where is it?
It's right in the chat. I just threw it in there for you.
Oh, the chat there. Okay.
Yep,
See,
yep.
I'm not technology savvy either.
Oh,
Okay.
that's okay. That's all right.
So do I
You
copy and
can
paste?
click on it. It'll take you right there. You can copy it if
I
you
can click
wanted
on
to.
it, and
Yep.
then I can come back. Okay. I got it.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
But now I
All
lost
right.
you. I don't see you now.
You don't see me now? That's